If you struggle to focus in lectures or classes, if you struggle to focus or concentrate on your homework, or you struggle to follow a plot in the movie, or you struggle to be able to sit down and read a book for 2 hours whilst concentrating and not getting distracted and not checking your phone, and you constantly have an itch that's telling you just to pull out your phone and check what's on Facebook or Reddit or Snapchat or Instagram, then years of heavy internet use has literally rewired your brain to seek dopamine. And this video was inspired by a post I saw on Reddit. And this video will, put simply, it will transform your brain. This video series, I should say, will transform your brain from chaotic, all over the place, short-term thinking to calm and clear thinking. This is the thinking that will get you to your goals. This is the thinking that will get you to your goals and 10 times bigger than your goals, because this is essential, literally essential in getting any goal that's longer than a 1 year period or even a 1 day period. If you struggle to keep habits, if you struggle to meditate, if you struggle to read, then this is a video series that's perfect for you. Yes, video series. I'm going to be releasing a 9-part video series over the course of the next 9 days that will detail exactly how you can rewire your brain to seek these amazing things instead of seeking the short-term hits that you will get from Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram or emails or blog posts or YouTube or anything like that. I'll be giving you actionable steps that you can apply today to literally start rewiring your brain, and this stuff has changed my life. To put it completely simply and bluntly for you, your phone, your laptop, social media, email, blogging, music has literally rewired your brain, and it's hijacked your brain's natural reward system. All of these things have made it more difficult than ever to just sit down and to relax. It's made it more difficult than ever to have an attention span that's longer than 2 minutes. It's made it harder than ever to stop pulling out your phone. If you ever pull out your phone when you just shouldn't because you do it out of habit, then this video series will change that. You see, all of this conditioning, all of this input that you're getting into your brain is giving you unbelievable amounts of stimulation that your brain just isn't used to, and it's hijacking your brain's natural reward system, leaving it wanting more and more. And this reprogramming of your reward system is hampering your creativity, it's hampering your productivity, it's hampering your social life, it's giving you anxiety, it's making you unable to focus, which is an essential task for success. It's literally turning you into a smartphone addicted zombie that just can't go a day, 24 hours without checking their phone multiple times. But the good news is, just as easily as these things have wired your brain to seek short-term dopamine hits, it's just as easy to counter-program them to focus on the long-term goals, the goals that will change your life, the habits that you need to be doing to get to the places that you want to be. And by doing this, by getting the calm, clear thinking, you will have the ability to reach your full potential and goals 10 times bigger than you've ever dreamed of. So let's get right into the meat and potatoes by explaining to you how your monkey brain seeks dopamines by pressing big dopamine buttons every day non-stop. You see, your brain hasn't evolved since you were a caveman, so your brain sees digital media as a low-cost, low-energy way of receiving crazy amounts of dopamine and stimulation. You see, what your brain does is when it thinks that you're doing something that's getting you closer to survival, it will reward you with neurotransmitters such as dopamine that will make you feel good. But the problem is, digital media has managed to emulate things that you need for survival. It's managed to pretend that you're doing things that are getting you closer to your survival, when in reality it's doing nothing of the sort, but your brain doesn't realize that. So your brain is still rewarding you through crazy amounts of dopamine, which makes you feel good for a short time. These are some of the things that your brain will reward you for: social interaction, sex, learning new things, winning arguments or fights. But the problem is, all of these things used to be directly correlated to survival and evolution, but now there is a huge disconnect. Now these things are not correlated, but your brain doesn't understand that, so your brain is still rewarding you. And the internet and smartphones and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and all of these things, your emails even, what they're doing is they're hijacking your brain's natural reward system by giving you crazy amounts of stimulation, giving you a shiny red dopamine button that you just click over and over and over again as you scroll through Instagram again and again and again and again. You repeat and you want more and more and more and more. That is how your brain works. And this wouldn't be too much of a problem. This wouldn't be a huge problem if your brain wasn't malleable. But it is. By constantly seeking dopamine, your brain literally rewires itself to value it. It doesn't see the point in going into long-term goals. It only sees the value in short-term dopamine hits. There's a long list of negative things. With all due respect to the internet, there's a long list of negative things that it will do for you that I'll read out to you right now. First of all, it will make you mindless. By constantly checking your phone on Reddit or Instagram or Snapchat, it's almost impossible to get to the present moment. If you've ever been to a beautiful place or seen a beautiful sunset and you've just not been able to enjoy it as much as your parents or your grandparents are, this is exactly why. The internet also brings about scattered thinking. By going from the emails to Snapchat to watching a YouTube video whilst on your Facebook, what this does is it programs your brain to expect scattered thinking. It's why you can't sit down and focus for long periods of time without your brain going all over the place. This is what internet has programmed your brain to think. It's also programmed you to be more anxious. Never before have we ever been able to see so many disasters as we can now by looking through the news. Tens and tens and tens of disasters happening every single day, and that makes us anxious. On top of that, we have diminished motivation. Our brain's thinking, why would we set out long-term goals? Why would we dent the world? Why would we make an impact? Why would we reach our potential when we could just sit here on Instagram and get unlimited amounts of dopamine? And finally, insecurity. By constantly getting validation from Instagram likes or Facebook likes, what this is doing is your brain is expecting other people to make up your validation. You no longer feel worthy by yourself. If your Instagram or Facebook was taken away from you, it's conditioned you to seek validation, to feel amazing when you get likes on Instagram, not to feel amazing because of who you are. That is what internet programming has done to your brain. But the good news is, just as you've wired your brain to seek these short-term dopamine hits, you can just as easily rewire your brain to focus on the things that really matter. And that is what this 9-part video series will do. By watching this 9-part video series, you will have the exact instructions, detailed instructions on how you can think clearer, on how you can be less anxious, on how you can focus more, on how you can be nicer, on how you can be more present, how you can be kinder. All of these things are coming up in this video series. Put simply, by the end of this video series, you'll have the exact detailed plan that will take you from a state of scattered thinking to a state of calm and clear thinking that you will need to get to your goals. So let's get right into it. But before we get into the whole video series, let me tell you about finding the sweet spot. You see, your relationship with digital is not like your relationship with cigarettes. You will quit cigarettes. You do not quit digital media completely, unless you're Amish, but we're not going to get into that. So you need to find this sweet spot. And in this sweet spot, it's somewhere between utility and fun. On the utility side of things, you have only using your computer for writing notes or something like that. On the fun side of it, you have gaming or porn or watching YouTube videos. You want to find your sweet spot, which is somewhere about here on the metaphorical scale, somewhere about here, closer to utility. And that's what we're going to be getting to in this video series. So, all of that and so much more is coming up in the next week or so. If you want to watch that, then subscribe now and like the video to show me that you're excited. This will change your life. Every single video is split up into 3 parts. First of all, it's the introduction that I talked about earlier. Just skip that. If you've watched this video, it's about 30 seconds long. Second of all, I'm going to be telling you the programming, how your brain has been programmed by the internet. I'll be detailing exactly what's happened to your brain, why it's happened to your brain, and then finally, the counter-programming. To match up with the programming, the last section is counter-programming. Explains to you exactly how you can rewire your brain like a bomb diffusal squad to rewire your brain to seek the things that are important in your life. This will stop your porn addiction. This will stop you from gaming. And I know you need this. You need this because if you don't fix this now, then this problem will be with you for the rest of your life. And what's worse, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Every single day that you go on without fixing this problem, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I don't mean to scare you. I just need to see an urgency in you to fix this problem once and for all, because if you don't, it's going to plague your life forever. You will never reach your potentials unless you deal with this problem. It's a problem that so many of us have. So if you're excited, then subscribe. And these videos are coming out in the next 7 days whilst I'm away on a family holiday. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I know you need this.